Hi everybody, Adrian and Tommy again from the CAP. Hope you've had an amazing weekend. I'm sure you have, Tommy. I have,
yeah.
We're going to drop into
I've heard you had an amazing weekend.
Oh, it's been pretty amazing, mate. So Tommy, give us a bit of a share. What did you do on the weekend, mate? In terms of,
on the weekend?
Yeah, what was going on for you?
Well, look, my social, we got social Saturday.
Yeah.
You were here.
I was here.
It was a real social Saturday.
It really was, wasn't it?
We met with some amazing beings.
Yeah.
My mother was here, right? She's always
Who's
been
an
the life of
amazing
the party.
being?
Is an amazing being. Yeah, she must be. I mean, she had me.
Yeah.
Also, a couple of people, one gentleman who's studying for his PhD, and a lot of stuff happening around there, like the stuff I get excited about. Being the physiological one is bioenergetic stuff. So not only biointelligence and epigenetics falls in that space, but then bioenergetics, we're talking about microcurrent, we're talking about frequency, stuff that like Tesla and Einstein already knew, somehow got lost around frequency, energy, vibration, and they both said, they worked it out, that the answers are in those three things that I just mentioned. Cosmological, right?
Yeah.
And the gentleman we had here, Mike, who I'm looking to have in an interview, is doing his PhD in quantum medicine. I mean, this is like Star Trek stuff. Right, but it's real, the same as this was the Dick Tracy watch. This is becoming real right now and starting to go mainstream. So I'm really excited about what's happening in that space. But they were here on Saturday.
It was a great time.
We had some great healthy food. Good time. So Saturday, Sunday, I sat down because the weather was. Actually, it's funny. I've normally, how you have clouds and rain, you kind of like get a bit depressed for the day. I was feeling really good on Sunday.
In your trackies?
In my trackies. And I'm wondering whether, because I got some treatment, we did some aura stuff around some of the technology, right, that they are representing, him and his wife who are here, lovely wife, because he has done a lot in natural medicine for Australia. And I don't want to give away his name yet. We're going to be interviewing him. This guy's like the bee's
hold
knees.
that space.
Hold that space. Stop. So Sunday, just got a whole lot. Here's what's really funny is, I was Sunday, and I thought there's a whole lot of stuff I want to do for the movement of CAP, and there's other stuff I've got going on, and you have two outside of that.
There's a lot going on.
We've got pretty full lives.
Full caps.
Full caps.
The cap is full.
Right, it's like Top Gun. When he says, request for a flyby, right? He says, oh no, Ghost Rider, the pattern is full, right? The pattern is full.
And he just goes, whoomp anyway.
Right? He does anyway. He says, the coffee thing, right? Our patterns are full. Right? And so I was sitting here on Sunday and I felt really good. And even though I had a number of things I thought I need to or I've got to do, changing my language on that, saying
should have got it,
need to, right? It's because that just triggers off certain things. And you would know probably better than me, right? You go, I've got all these things to do. And I thought, no, this is actually becoming my life. And so as I just
Adrian becomes Tommy's life.
He's rubbing off on me, right? So it's changing to where I thought, wow, what a glorious day. From a beautiful sunny Saturday, if you remember, to then a Sunday and rain all day.
The farmers market. I went to the organic market, mate. It was just pouring rain, and there was nobody there. Everybody packed up and gone home.
Oh my God, right? I stayed indoors. I'm thinking, and I'd usually for fitness training, like for triathlon or whatever. No, get out there, hustle and grind, get the training done.
I braved it for the both of us.
You did. Good on you.
I got it.
Right. So I sat down and I just started doing my stuff. And the thing is, it's such work that's it's a labour of love for me now, and it's connected in here, and I really enjoyed it.
So you went to Soul for Sunday?
Oh, damn it!
Oh, you went to Soul for Sunday.
See, this was not not premeditated.
But it's rubbing off.
It's rubbing off.
So guys,
unconsciously, Soulful Sunday.
Absolutely.
Totally it was. I was connected to my work.
So synchronistically, like it happens, doesn't it?
It does.
It does. That energy flow starts, don't we? You talk about it. Start to bring it into the paradigm of what do I want? We set up the 7 days of the week. And by default, the program started up. Where I'm in Soul Sunday. I'm still in my trackies.
Right. It's still in my trackies. And I got that feeling like at the beginning of the day. I had that feeling of I got so much to do, but I started getting those things done and enjoying, and then you get present, and it's funny because when you really link into your truth, because there's some other little things I was doing to get a bit of a dopamine fix, but I could feel something inside me going, Tommy, truth knocking on the door. It's like my heart was knocking on the door.
So we got
my soul.
So we got you out of your intellect for a while, mate.
We got out of my intellect, and I could feel it, and I gave it the love and attention to bring it to, these things are important to do. That then I, and the pressure started coming off because I was starting to work in a way to my truth of doing these major things, really enjoying getting present, getting in the zone. And it was funny, it was like heart math type stuff where my heart and mind were cohering. You know, and I was getting in flow.
So a bit of inspirational leadership from Tommy here on Soulful Sunday.
My God,
you
really?
know, well, we got it there, mate.
Right, we did.
We're there.
Boom.
So if you want to know anything, just give Tommy a quick call and he'll tell you how to get to Soulful Sunday. The woo-woo man, we're going to call you.
The woo-woo man, the woo-hoo man.
The woo-hoo man. You know, so Tommy, now we're into that other new space, you know, we're getting into the first few days of the week. We're going to get into the body a little bit, you know, before we get into the mind stuff. So where are we in terms of going forward, you know, collectively with the cap now, in some of the visioning, some of the inspiration, to really embody the body, how to get into that physiological space, to really take us to that next level. How do we start that process again from where we are right now into that Top Gun, full-on energy, peak performance? You know, what are some of the things you want to share about maybe where you're at and what you can bring in for people watching in?
Okay, so I think that's a great segue intro into the theme for this week, actually, which is so thanks for teeing me up. That was the intent. But
totally
it's
of course it is.
He's always on their ball, this guy, right? He doesn't miss a trick.
It's the morning meditation. I'm in zen when I arrive.
For a guy that's so zen, he's so sort of on it. The week is about the 4% approach. Now, you know, we're so used to.
Could you want to explain that, mate? Like 4%, like is that the pass mark? You get a 4%.
I hope not. Yeah, my son would love to think that.
So give us a little bit of synopsis of the 4%.
All right. So going back, we all know about the Pareto effect, right? And in business,
well, maybe
it's so overused. Okay. So I'll break it down.
No assumptions here.
Pareto. So it's 20%. Of the things that you focus on are probably going to give you 80% of the return, right? So this is part of that thinking smarter thing and getting focus on those things that are really going to bring the dollars, and if you will, you know, like now even still after knowing some of these fundamentals and basics, and look, if you're at VP CEO level, you would have heard these things many times before. It's funny though, and I remember for the Australians or the cricket fans out there, if you remember when Greg Chappell went through that huge slump near the end of his career where he was just getting out for a duck, you know, constantly. And we had it last year with, someone can comment on this particular video, but one of the Australian players, you just get stuck, you forget about the fundamentals. Right? And so fundamental, and you've always got to reassess because we're in such a dynamic these days with things changing so quickly. You've got to reassess, where is my 20%, right? Now, we're stepping it up. We're going to take it further and go deeper and narrower.
Deeper and deeper and deeper we go down the rabbit hole, eh?
There we go. The rabbit hole. To go to 20% of the 20%. Right? Well, now we're really getting into some potent stuff. So when you kind of like move the other stuff away, look at, of that 20%, let's go in there, right? And this is going to connect to what you were sort of teeing up before around, okay, we want to get in there, we want to get things moving, you know, Top Gun, which exercise, what are we going to do? It's like the first thing is, don't get overwhelmed with going, holy crap, we go from there to there. Let's have a look first at where the sweet spot is for this, right? And if you're just doing that and doing it as we had a couple of weeks ago, consistently, you're going to nail it. You know,
it's all about consistency.
It's about
everything we do. You know, whether it's business, life, relationship, stay consistent. Stay consistent. You know, bit of filming. You know, consistency.
Right, we are.
And consistent messages, consistent TV,
Yeah.
consistent time framing,
And
and then it gets done.
Right, and I'm going to give a call out to my partner over here because this guy, you can set your watch to this guy. He is always on time. I mean, I'm the one that came from the corporate world, and you'd expect it. Maybe it's me rebelling. I don't know, but the world is changing as well. So let's not get too anal on things. But if you want dependency and what I've discovered, loyalty, being on time. From a partner point of view, mate, but I haven't had a better partner.
Thanks, mate.
So just I'm putting it out there. But you wouldn't expect it from the soul guy that you should expect as the hippie going, hey man.
It's because I'm in tune, man. It's because I'm in tune.
He's in tune. He's like on it.
And I don't wear a watch.
Yeah, you don't wear a watch.
I know when it's midnight.
And here's me.
It's 1 o'clock.
What? Yeah, with a little bit of distractive EMF on there. That's very non-physiological.
No, I can know when it's time. Like, so what's the time right now, Adrian? I'll tell you without even wearing a watch.
So you're doing this differently because if you are in tune with it, right? And like this is the same with like exercise, getting present when it becomes you. You're not getting all that stress traffic in your head.
It's like if I want to get up at 6 a.m. It's right to 6 on the head in wet. Guarantee 5:15 I wake up.
Serious. God, why do I believe that with you? I believe it. I believe it. Right, it's true.
I don't set alarms.
Right. Okay.
Don't need to.
So,
because the mind knows. The mind is an alarm clock.
Right.
The mind is a computer.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, where did computers come from? We won't even go to the logic of computers and Aristotle. That's my next topic.
Aristotle.
So back to that 4%.
Yes. So what's it going to be?
Breaking it down.
Yeah.
So what are the things that you're going to do this week to bring yourself into more alignment? As an example, a leader in the space.
Right.
To give an example of how it can be done. As we know, people love to follow a little bit. Even some of the leaders like a leader. But if you could put your own life here, Tommy, in front of us now for this week. What are you going to do that other people might be able to follow as an example?
Okay. So look, there are some key pillars that you've got to put down, foundations for the week, right? And with the 4%, not only was I looking at physiologically, but other energy distractions to get down to what is it I need to just take out of my, in a way, consciousness. And if they bubble up, they bubble up. But the things that I'm going to focus on that 4%, right? The 20% of the 20%. Now, if we take it from a physiological angle, for me, if it's like mandatory for me that every day that I'm doing, it's either a walk or a cardio, minimum, right?
So pens and paper here, I reckon.
So take some notes.
What's mandatory for me?
Mandatory
for me today, this week. What's my focus this week? What's my non-negotiable this week? What's definitely going to happen this week? In the
physiological.
What's going to happen for me this week? What am I going to commit to? That's the first point, isn't it?
Right. It's got to be. I mean, that is the most basic foundation. That is something that you got to, and it doesn't hurt. It's not like, I got to go and lift or I got to go and run this.
You haven't got to go
walking
10K barefoot like Adrian did.
No. So
right? Don't have to do that.
No, I mean I go barefoot. I'm on the beach. I made choices in my life to be here. And some of them weren't easy, right? So I had to let go of certain things to make those key decisions, getting down to that 4% of what's most important for Tommy G. And you got to know yourself, and that's topic for another. It's for one of yours, right? So walking foundation, and then for me, because I know epigenetically, doing 2 hits a week.
Now, coffee.
That too.
Two coffee.
I have here as a tip for you, Chimera coffee. You can order from a company called Optimoz.com.au. They have all the, if you're a bit of a bulletproof Dave Asprey fan, you can forward freight it from the US and pay $1 million, or you can buy it off Optimoz, pay $1 million there instead. Just so you know. So I get Chimera coffee, which has the L-theanine and
this morning. It was a really great coffee.
Right, because it calms down.
It even slowed me down.
Oh my God.
So there's an answer
that is not possible.
There's an answer for that company. I felt myself calming.
Right, or maybe not as on coffee. But then they've got a whole lot of other great stuff in there to just, for the nerve type, because my epigenetically, being in the health type of the company I work with, I'm what they call a crusader, right? We tend to be the CEO and VP types, and he is too. Right? So, endurance, our brains were developed, and our nervous system was developed pretty well above everything else. So we tend to fire on the hormone of dopamine. So we tend to be dopamine dominant. You can go and do a test on this, the Braverman test. And if you want, you can hit me up on Messenger, on the group, or on Tommy at TommyGallant.com.
Or just on LinkedIn, just put
on
your
LinkedIn. Ping me on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Message me on LinkedIn. Right? Easy.
Get a thread happening.
Yeah, there we go.
Get some engagement going.
There are some comments on for those that are in the group. Absolutely. So where were we? We were talking about
the 4%.
4%.
We're talking about the getting 2 hits a week.
Hits a week. So we're talking about interval training, right? High intensity interval training, and I'll just use Tabata. Now, if I'm out on the beach, I'm going to be doing sprints, and it's 4 minutes of exercise. That'll be Monday and Friday. It's 4 minutes. Or if I'm stuck indoors, I'll be doing the burpees, right? And that's to really, because that'll get certain genes expressing, right, which are very healthy, especially for cardio people, or people that may be predisposed to having some cardio issues. You want to strengthen that part of you up, right? And I did. It's part of my bio, part of my story as a triathlete. Finding out.
So just on that, because we last interview, we started talking about your bio, and we sort of ran out of time.
We did.
So this might be a little bit of a segue back into just finalising some of that, Tommy. I think you spoke about coming here on the Goldie.
We did.
You hit 40, and then sort of live in exec space.
Right.
And then we sort of got to that pause moment, and I'm in anticipation to hear a bit more because I've been
we did.
So I'm just going like, where are we? Can you bring us back into that space?
Right. Okay.
So let's take a bit of a.
I'm going to multi-thread. I'm going to see if I can multi-thread of the theme where we're going along with the story. Whoa, this is going to be a brain bender, this one. Okay, so we got to, that's right, we got to the, and we'll see you on the next episode. Sort of it's done very well. It's like,
we've forgotten that. Good brain in it.
There we go. So, all right, I think we got to the stage where I'd got the results and
the results of what?
Just a review for those that maybe hadn't seen the previous episodes. Of where I found out that I had some rust to clean out of my pipes.
That's it, mate.
And that hit me in the feels big time. And I discovered that I was mortal for the first time. Because I could party hard with the kids. I was running endurance stuff when we do the corporate. And kids, I mean like I was the middle-aged millennial, right? Working in millennial companies like it could be Akamai, Amazon Web Services, Zendesk, Hootsuite. I was.
When you wouldn't put rust into it, like, look at this man, rust, just doesn't make sense, does it?
Look, it's like putting lipstick on a pig in a way, isn't it?
Doesn't make sense.
Great polish, right?
But rust?
But the rust?
Tommy?
Really? Yeah, right, on the inside.
That must have been quite
That's
a shock to the system.
It was, and you go, but I'm doing everything right. And I'm pushing and I'm working hard. Why? And I'm balanced because I'm doing exercise. And I wasn't putting on weight because I'm burning it off.
78 hours a week.
This is 78 hours a week, right? And I'm on planes and I'm doing meetings and my sleep's all over the place. And
but I'm alright.
And I'm a cortisol generating machine. That's the stuff.
I'm a crusader.
Will kill you. Right. That's the stuff that's killing us. And the Huffington Post, Ariana Huffington. Huffington's her married name. She's actually Greek. She is Greek. Here we are again. Great things come from the Greeks. It's always the Greeks, dude.
I don't know what's sort of going
because we invented civilization in the world, and then we took a big break. We're the bottom of the ladder as far as the euro.
But you're back.
We are back. Tourism's back. We're coming back, right?
And the drachma, is it?
The drachma. Bring it on, because that euro thing's bloody expensive.
The drachma.
Right. So I was there, and this was the wake up call, and I can only thank God. And look, I don't want to get cliche because you hear everybody going, and I'm so appreciative and gratuitous and everything else. I mean, the thing is that is totally true. But I don't want to turn people off with gratitude. For me,
that's my field, mate. You leave that to me.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't want there to be a demarcation dispute. Let not industrial relations come down this way.
I'll be bringing the gratitude because there's three different types of gratitude.
Nice.
Did you know?
Look forward to learning about that.
3 levels of gratitude.
Okay.
I'll share them all.
Let's not forget that for the next one.
We'll plug that one in.
Bookmark, right? But appreciation, right? Really, it was appreciation of that I didn't have to go a step further and be in an event and get an event. In other words, have a fucking heart attack, sorry about the explicitive, but you survive those, 30% of the time, and then the other 30% don't make it to hospital.
Yeah.
And so, double clicked on Dr. Google, started doing my own research. And so that put me on purpose. It took that, where, be it God, whatever you want to call a superpower, that our rationale and where our ego lives, and a lot of us that aren't open yet, but hopefully do whilst on Earth until you, otherwise you come back and do the lap again.
Or at least while they're on cap.
Well, they're on cap, right? Hopefully in cap we can kind of get people there beforehand.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, build the guardrails, right? The little wheels, the trainer wheels.
This is a gift we're bringing.
This is a gift. Well, hopefully it is for a lot, And so that was enough of a message to me to go, dude, check out where you're at, where your life is. And so I took that and thought, you know what? And I still have such a huge passion for technology, as you know. And bringing that now, not just quality of business, but how do I bring tech to quality of life, and hence all the devices. And we've got Elon doing his thing with Neuralink, and there's a lot of philosophical, and moral debates over that. And I totally agree. There's, the vaccination debate, and I agree with that being a huge debate.
That's a debate
to get
that
that
needs
right.
to happen.
That needs to happen because, last time I checked, how many times you go in and say, oh, are you allergic to penicillin? Yes, no. You don't get the thing going, are you allergic to a vaccination? No, here's your forced bit of vaccination.
Yeah.
I think there's something wrong.
That's another conversation.
That's another conversation. We won't bring that on a cap. We'll leave that for my Facebook persona, right? But just the logic. So anyway, from there on, I started to set upon this journey. My son was going to be moving back to Australia with his mum. She was looking to make the move, and it was probably a year earlier than I anticipated. And I think part of this story was actually on the other one we started to touch on this. And I thought, well, okay, then let's, surrender to this. And great book, The Surrender Experiment by Michael A. Singer.
Okay.
Yeah, right. It's demarcation dispute. It's kind of in his area.
Okay.
He's coming to physiological. I'm going more.
We're doing a swap.
Of the spiritual,
blending of the souls,
right? The cosmological
blending of the souls,
right? Blending of the souls is the way it should be, right? Next, I think we're getting married. My work wife. I'm his work wife. That's that. It just started to feel right. It felt satisfying. And and I was on that path of, once I get all this stock and save this much money, that point where I then go, haha, cool, don't need the corporate world, don't need to work anymore and whatever.
Doesn't happen like that, mate, does it?
What's that?
Didn't really happen like that, did it?
Well, it didn't. Thank God it didn't.
Yeah.
Because I could have still been stuck in that zone. Now, for some, it's fulfilling and purposeful because they're doing what they should be doing.
So
just
on that, a little one.
Yeah.
In the surveys, I know you do a lot of surveys in space. You've got a questionnaire you put out there.
Yep.
And that satisfaction point for people in that space, 52% were saying they were not satisfied.
Yep.
I saw the stats,
Right, I showed them to you,
so
right? On the
50%,
executive lifestyle assessment that I have on my TommyGallant.com
that's
site.
That's it, mate. What was it again?
TommyGallant.com.
That's the one. Go and
do the ELA.
Go and do it.
Yeah, it'll send you the results. It's on a Google form. Yeah. Sorry, mate. Sorry to interrupt.
No, but seriously, go and do the test.
Yeah, go and do the test.
And really ascertain, where am I right now in my life?
Yep.
My personal life, my professional life.
You'll see the results.
And you'll see it.
Yeah, you'll see your own results are sent to you because they're yours. Then you'll see the anonymous results of what's happening across all those that test. And what has been, I'm not super surprised, but feel somewhat vindicated in that, yes, it's sort of what I thought it was. And you were blown away. You sort of, oh my God, like the bishop was there going, it's just like, my God, we've got to do something.
So you were part of 52%, the unsatisfied.
They were,
Yep, that's where you're at.
I was.
So
I
you're
thought,
in that stat.
Well, I thought I was in, because the way the questions are set up is that a lot of people say that partially they think they're on the right track, but then you ask the question of, but are you satisfied? And 52% no.
Yeah.
Because what they're thinking is there's nirvana.
So there's a trick question there.
It is a bit. It is a bit. So the way I interpret that is that, okay, so you think you're in the right direction, that you're going to get to this place, that then you're going to go, right? But you're not feeling satisfied today. And that's what's wrong.
Yeah.
Because what's happening is we're getting this cognitive dissonance between the brain and the heart, right? That you're not being present, you're sacrificing your soul and your heart purpose for thinking you're going to be on purpose down the track, and there's going to be the aha day.
So bit of a hope moment, living
it's
in
a hope moment, and therefore you're not present.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, if you're always aiming for that thing in the future, I mean, I have a bit, because I'm a bit pioneer myself.
Right. Both of us Crusaders tend to do that.
I'm always looking for, I've got a couple of friends who keep saying to me, Adrian, can you actually just be here right now? Because what you're going for there is great.
Yeah.
Future potential's great.
Yeah.
But can you have that vision while you're present?
Yeah.
So that's a big bit of learning for me, because I'm very, cleric. I'm really out there.
Yes, you are.
energetically.
We both are.
Both are.
Right.
So I'm always looking for that next thing.
Right, and Crusaders do that. Now, Crusaders, this is a health type in the epigenetic thing that I do.
So do you want to name, just so people listening in, because Crusaders might mean, if we put it into context, what are the other elements, what are the other archetypes, if you like, around that?
So you'll have Crusaders, then you'll have activators. They're the ones that don't think. Crusaders think a lot, because they're with the embryology, there's 15 layers of science built into this and 20 years of data, right? And everything from embryology to anthropometry, right? Because actually you get measured up, and it takes your phenotype and reverse engineers to about 85% accuracy.
And it brings you back to one of these archetypes that Tom is going to explain.
It does, the health type. Thanks for asking the question. So again, right, got the message. So we've got Crusader, and then you'll have Activator, and then you'll have Connector, then you'll have Guardian, then you'll have Diplomat, and then you'll have Sensor. And on this bottom half, these three, so the Diplomat, the Sensor, and the Crusader, very brain heavy and nervous system heavy, right? A lot of thinking. They tend to be usually introverted. On the top end, it tends to be more extroversion, and they will tend to be more gut feel, emotive driven, right?
More the feeling realm.
More the feeling realm. They tend to live in the present better than
so
we
a bit
do.
more right brain.
Bit more right brain, generally, right? Left brain for the other, bit more here and now versus the other ones are futuristic and being careful, because it actually tends to be more ectomorphic, right, ish, and being careful and thinking ahead, plan A, plan B, plan C, because they tend to be more lean and slim. So to survive prehistorically, they needed to really think out plan A, B, and C for escape. Now, if you flip that the other side, and looking at the future, like you were talking about a moment ago, so going to connect in there, that it's great for planning. Now, the thing is, what you said is, if you lose yourself emotionally and so on into that future plan, you're not present.
That's the thing.
But you planning is very much a present activity.
Oh, totally.
So if you plan all the bits, get them down on paper, but don't lose yourself over there. Perfect. And actually that brings presence to someone like us. We go, okay, good. It's all planned out. I feel more comfortable and relaxed now from a survival, in a way, perspective, to stay here, or to not get too excited about over there. Eyes on the road and the vision.
That's it.
Make that you, but feet on the ground, hands on the wheel.
For me, it's VPA, Vision, Plan, Action.
Right,
Vision,
there we go.
Plan, action.
There
VPA.
it is. There it is.
VPA. Vision, Plan, Action.
Right.
And if you do that consistently, then things happen. If you forget one of those, if you don't vision or don't plan or don't action, nothing happens.
Nothing happens. And we know that Crusaders hate that, right? And we are the workhorses as Crusaders, right? Absolutely, so we get a lot of stuff done. We tend to have more so around lower back and brain issues. We use this machine a lot. It chews up a lot of fat and sugar that we consume. We tend to be more of a carb diet, not necessarily crap carb. So as we bring it round to the 4%, right, to close this out, because I know we're coming on time here.
But just on that, really quickly,
please.
Just in terms of my divergent movers,
right?
Obviously we're all a bit of each as well.
Yes.
Like we have a dominant, predominant.
Yes.
Yeah, and then obviously we have bits of others. And at certain times, say through biorhythms or particular seasons or particular environments, we might swing to some of the others for some time. So we wouldn't be that thing all the time.
Yes.
Yeah, we would be a bit divergent in that and move around.
We will. You can actually move health type, especially if you're on the cusp. You can flip into another. And these are just the general boxes too, by the way, right? So You know, it's actually a spiral.
Just my divergent got triggered.
Yeah, it is. Thanks for that.
Loving being a divergent.
Yeah. Thanks for throwing another curly one in there.
So bring us back. You know, just to wrap this up.
Yeah.
Just give us a wrap up, and then maybe just tail off on where you are right now in your biography.
Yep.
Yeah, and then we can complete up on that.
Right. So with the 4%, if you do that planning, don't lose yourself in it. And what that allows you to do is really concentrate on what's really important now.
Yeah.
And then you feel comfortable that everything else is kind of taken care of. You've written it down. It's there. And the thing is, everything's moving so fast today that whatever you thought it was is going to tend to move anyway. It's the same with a flight plan. Different weather conditions or when you're sailing, but you keep your eye on that vision and you'll adjust as you go, but you've got a plan.
Keep the ribbon going,
right? And that allows you to focus on and do the math on working out what the 4% is. And you just do a check-in and poll each time. Are we still there? So reviewing each day, so for Crusaders, each night, the plan for the day, and then in the morning, because we are big on dopamine and cortisol in the morning, those transactional tasks, so you get your list together 7:30 a.m. from a circadian rhythm point of view, right? And so for this morning, priority, bang, here it is, according to the plan from last night. So I'll try and knock out a 5 by 10 type of thing is one way to look at it, of those high income activities. Things are going to get returned because they are very important. Get those knocked out now while you've got the brain energy. In the afternoon, it's more of a cogitating. Maybe you're going to meditate for a few minutes, sleep, do the Churchill thing. We mentioned that before. The more planning, journaling, connecting with people between 11 and 1 for Crusaders tends to be the time, right? So there's a lot of the stuff we go into to plan out specifically for each individual where their 4% is going to be, right?
So maybe start with that, with the evaluation. Go and do the exec evaluation.
Absolutely.
Go and have a look at it. Tommy Glenn.
I'll put I can put it. There's a
put the link on.
A free link for 10 days.
Put the link
play
on.
with. So put it in the show notes. Put it in the show notes. And I reckon we'll have to continue the thread of the biography.
So we're up to
the next one. We're up to now.
What age?
Getting that purpose.
Like about 50.
About 50.
Yeah, hit 50. Yeah, the big 50.
The big 50.
So about 25 years ago.
That's it. Yeah, right. It's been the stuff's working. It's working. Right? You wouldn't think I was 75. But the next 2 years is really interesting because that was the investment cycle that I had to make in time, financially. Big decisions that I had to make in my life.
And that's the whole financial aspect as well.
All of it.
Play of that,
financially and also physiologically, where I was going to go, where was I going to live, what was I going to do, how I was going to work with my son and me. We're in different cities. That's been a challenge as well, and things that'll come in left field, and then what sort of psychology you need, and the evolution of me, as it was, 2.5 or so years ago, to where we are today, and it's so exciting.
We can share some tools and resources of how to support people to make that decisions, to put all the chattering monkeys out of their mind.
That's it.
So we can get that vision plan action going. So that's what Tommy and I are here to share some of that wisdom and insight as well. If you've got any questions, put them out there. Let's get some connection happening. Let's get some communication happening. And type a few questions out there, and Tommy and I will pass the buck and get somebody else to answer them.
That's it, of course.
So Tommy, we're wrap.
So it's the 4% wrap up for the physiological come psychological part of the week. We'll be doing your part later in the week.
We certainly will,
right? Guys. So I guess the call to action here is if you're an exec and you're keen on joining the group, which is growing each week. We've got people coming in the door right now. It is invitation only through application. Basically, flick us a message either to myself or Adrian on LinkedIn, but through the Corporate Alchemist Project group. You can just basically put your hand up there at the door, and then we'll review it internally with the team. And hopefully you'll get an invite. We haven't knocked anybody back yet, have we?
They let me and you in.
We let each other in.
I don't know. We won't even go there. I think it's the time to close.
I think I'll have to eject myself from the group.
Anyway. All right, Tommy Glenn, thanks very much for sharing, mate.
Thank you, Adrian Hanks.
And we'll touch base again very, very soon.
Right. Have a great week, guys.
Thanks, guys. See you.
Okay. Bye.